Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode Recap and Thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the FUNimation dub of episode 89 of Dragonball Super. We begin this episode with Goku flying towards Master Roshi's island in the hopes of recruiting the Turtle Hermit for the Universe 7 team for the Tournament of Power. The narrator's comments indicate that this is happening around the same time that Gohan and Piccolo are training. Goku meets up with Ulan on Master Roshi's island, and Ulan tells Goku that Master Roshi has been invited to Tien's dojo as an honorary Grand Master. Goku is impressed when he hears that Tien is teaching students now, and he figures that this will save him some time before he flies off to the dojo. At Tien's dojo, we see Tien is in the middle of teaching his students, who are all bald men, something that Master Roshi notices and is disappointed about. Just outside of the entrance to the dojo, we see a woman in a blue dress voiced by Lucy Christian, and she's pleased that she's found Tien's current location. She talks about Tien in a manner that indicates that she is not fond of Tien. She also calls Tien a three-eyed baldy. The next scene shows Chaozu leading the woman in the blue dress to Tien, and Chaozu tells Tien that the woman in the blue dress wishes to join the dojo. In her mind, we hear the woman in the blue dress thinking of Tien in a dismissive manner. Roshi is excited when he hears that the woman in the blue dress wishes to join the dojo, and she is not pleased with Roshi's behavior. Tien inquires the woman in the blue dress about what her name is, and she reveals her name to be Yurine. Tien also inquires Yurine about her martial arts experience and why she wishes to learn martial arts. Yurine's answers are that she has no martial arts experience, and she says she wishes to learn martial arts because she says that she heard it's good for one's looks. And Tien's response is he suggests that Yurine join a different dojo because his dojo is for individuals who wish to master martial arts. Roshi tries to convince Tien to let Yurine join the dojo, and then Roshi picks Yurine up and takes her to a different part of the dojo, much to her dismay. Eventually, Goku arrives at Tien's dojo and comments about how it's been a while since they last crossed paths around the time of the Champa saga. Tien tells his students that their training for today is finished, and Goku wastes no time in inviting Tien to join the Universe 7 team for the Tournament of Power. He also double checks to make sure that Master Roshi is still at the dojo right now. We see Master Roshi and Yurine are in a different part of the dojo. They're in some room, and Yurine is now wearing a green gi with a mini skirt, and Master Roshi says that he will remove the darkness from Yurine. Yurine thinks that Master Roshi knows her true motives for coming to Tien's dojo. Roshi, however, does not know Yurine's true motives. He meant something different, to say the least. Goku does find Master Roshi, but he decides to invite him to join the 7th Universe team later. Eventually, Master Roshi flies through the wall of the room, and Yurine heads to a different part of the dojo, and she decides that Tien's other students will be of great use to her for her plans. So Yurine pulls out several paper talismans, and she begins to channel some kind of energy into these paper talismans. In a different part of the dojo, Goku and Tien are sitting down and having some tea while Goku fills Tien in on more information regarding the Tournament of Power. Goku is filling Tien in about the Tournament of Power in greater detail. But Tien declines the invitation to join the 7th Universe team. He says he doesn't wish to leave his students. Goku then tells Tien the lie that he's told some other members of the 7th Universe team. The lie that claims that each member of the winning team will receive 10 million zeni for winning, but Tien responds that this isn't about money. However, the conversation is interrupted when a citizen from the town that the dojo is in comes in to tell Tien that Tien's students are causing trouble in the town for some reason. Goku uses instant transmission to teleport himself to the town. Tien, Chaozu, and Master Roshi were also holding on to Goku when he used instant transmission, so they're in the town too. And they all notice that, yes, Tien's students are causing trouble in the town, but Tien's students all have the paper talismans on their faces, and the paper talismans are causing Tien's students to turn purple, and they're floating around. The next scene takes us to Universe 6, and we see that Cabba has taken Renso's advice, and he's gone to see Caulifla, Renso's younger sister. So Cabba is in the hangout of Caulifla's gang, and he's trying to convince Caulifla to join the Universe 6 team for the Tournament of Power. One of the gang members is a female Saiyan who bears a striking resemblance to Broly in his normal form naturally. Caulifla, voiced by Elizabeth Maxwell, declines the invitation to join the Universe 6 team. Cabba then tells Caulifla about how the participating universes that lose the Tournament of Power will be erased from existence, but this still doesn't convince Caulifla to join the 6th Universe's team, and she demands that Cabba leave now. One of the gang members is preparing to force Cabba to leave, but Cabba responds by transforming into a Super Saiyan, and this catches Caulifla's attention. Cabba tells Caulifla the name of the form, and he even offers to teach Caulifla how to unlock the Super Saiyan form. But Caulifla still insists that she won't join the 6th Universe team. So Cabba then brings up how Caulifla's older brother, Renso, holds her potential in high regard, and Cabba adds that he thinks that Caulifla could take that potential to higher places. This is what inspires Caulifla to join the 6th Universe team. She also tells her gang members to not attack Cabba, and even instructs them to get Cabba something to drink. And then Caulifla compliments Cabba for having a way with words. That's how she describes it. And she does say that her interests have been piqued with the Super Saiyan transformation, and which levels that her potential can be taken to. Returning to Universe 7, we see that Master Roshi recognizes that someone is using sorcery on Tien's students, and he tells the others that they need to remove the enchanted talismans. Chaozu attempts to use his psychic powers to remove the enchanted talismans, but he finds that there's a force field when he tries to use his psychic powers. This leads to Yurine making her presence known, and she's laughing at Chaozu's attempts to use his psychic powers. And she also brags about how the reputation of Tien's dojo has been destroyed now. Tien inquires Yurine about why she wishes to ruin his dojo's reputation, and she essentially says that she wishes to defeat Tien, and when she calls Tien a three-eyed baldy, that leads to Tien to realize that Yurine was also a student at the Crane School. We also do get to see a flashback which shows Tien and Chaozu leaving, and Yurine is angry. She's shouting at Tien in an angry manner while Tien and Chaozu are leaving. Back in the present day, Yurine continues to brag about how how she spent a great deal of time learning and mastering sorcery, and when Tien calls her motives petty, she insists that this is a big deal to her. Master Roshi tells Goku, Tien, and Chaozu to get close enough to the brainwashed students so that they can remove the enchanted talismans from them. Master Roshi says that he will distract Yurine while they try to remove the enchanted talismans. Roshi ends up becoming distracted when Yurine trips, and this gives Yurine a chance to place an enchanted talisman on Master Roshi's face. Tien then tries to remove the enchanted talisman from Master Roshi, but the sorcery has given Master Roshi some new power. And, Master Roshi seems to be powered up quite a bit by the sorcery from the enchanted talisman. Eventually, Master Roshi, or the brainwashed Master Roshi, powers up to the max power form, Roshi's max power form. And Tien uses the Four Witches technique, the technique that allows Tien to grow 2 extra arms on his back. So Tien and the brainwashed Roshi prepare to battle each other, but the brainwashed Roshi is able to overpower Tien. But Goku is able to save Tien before Tien is hit by a Kamehameha. Goku makes a comment about how Master Roshi is stronger than he was before, and Goku figures that even without taking the sorcery into account, Master Roshi must have been doing some secret training. But after that, Goku figures out a plan to help Roshi break free of the mind control, or the sorcery. So Goku heads up to the sky, and he prepares a Kamehameha towards the brainwashed Roshi. Chaozu uses his psychic powers to distract Yurine, which gives Goku the chance to destroy the enchanted talisman that's on Master Roshi. So Yurine is now furious that her plans have failed, and she vows that she will try again and she's dedicated to continuing to defeat Tien. And this leads to Tien actually offering Yurine an invitation to join his dojo. Tien comments that despite her motives, her desire to become stronger is genuine. Yurine does accept the invitation, and she also agrees to Tien's request to apologize to the people of the town, the ordinary civilians, and Tien's other students for her recent actions. So yes, Yurine does apologize for her recent actions. Tien then tells Goku that he actually will join the 7th Universe team for the Tournament of Power. He thinks that the 10 million Zeni will go a long way in repairing the buildings of the town. Master Roshi also decides to join the 7th Universe team when he hears about 10 million Zeni. Next up, we head to the Null Realm, where we see the arena for the Tournament of Power is still being constructed slowly but steadily. And that is how we end this episode. So this episode is considered one of, if not the weakest entries in... Yes, this episode is considered one of, if not the weakest episode of Dragonball Super. Some even go... if not the worst in the franchise. Some consider this to be the worst episode of Dragon Ball Super. Some go further and say this is the worst episode of the franchise, or one of the worst episodes of the franchise. And yeah, there were some low points for this episode. Roshi's actions in this episode were the lowest point for this episode. And I do remember seeing some fans wondering if Roshi's actions are the reason for why classic Dragon Ball doesn't get many reruns compared to Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Z Kai. I'm not entirely sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if Roshi's actions do contribute for why classic Dragon Ball doesn't get many reruns compared to Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Z Kai. Now, another low point for many is that many fans feel that Tien drew the short stick in this episode, and I can agree to that. I do believe Tien didn't get the best showing in this episode. He was easily overpowered by the brainwashed Master Roshi, and this especially stands out because, yeah, one of the big debates I've noticed among fans of the franchise is who is the strongest human in the franchise, or, well, I guess given certain conditions. Like, yeah, there's a debate among fans over who's the strongest human between Krillin or Tien. This isn't counting the androids because of their I guess you could call it outside upgrades, I guess you could say, for the androids, and not counting Oob, who has great potential due to being Kid Buu's reincarnation. But yes, there are fans that debate over who's stronger between Krillin or Tien. Some fans cite Krillin having the power-up from Grand Elder Guru, and Yamcha did make a comment about Krillin being the strongest human. I believe that was in the Buu saga. Though other fans point out that Tien has a greater dedication to training and a greater passion for martial arts. Some fans also feel that Tien generally has a better track record of fights compared to Krillin. But yeah, that's a pretty big debate, and it doesn't help that there's also a detail about whether or not Tien has alien ancestry, or like if Tien's descendants had alien ancestry, so if Tien would be considered purely human. From what I was able to gather, it seems to be a flip-flop decision on whether Tien has alien ancestry or not. Or from what I was able to gather, it seems that there is no consistent answer. It seems to change a lot. So this adds to that debate. That continues the debate. But yeah, in any case, I do sympathize with the Tien fans. Tien didn't really get the best showing in this episode. And now, although there were definitely many low points for this episode, there were still some details that could be considered some highlights. Caulifla would be considered the main highlight for this episode. Or yes, this is the proper introduction for Caulifla. We did get to see her briefly in the previous episode, but this is the episode where we actually get to meet Caulifla properly or formally. And yes, we do get to hear Caulifla talk. Like I said, she's voiced by Elizabeth Maxwell in the Funimation dub. And I do think Elizabeth Maxwell does a great job performing Caulifla's voice. I have also heard Caulifla's voice, or Elizabeth Maxwell's performance, in the video game Xenoverse 2, or Xenoverse 2, potato. But yeah, in the video game, Caulifla does get a few lines of dialogue, and so some fans already had a preview for what Caulifla would sound like in the Funimation dub, those who played Xenoverse 2 or have seen clips of it on the internet. And yeah, I do like I said, I like Elizabeth Maxwell's voice for Caulifla. Caulifla's voice in the Funimation dub is pretty much how I expected her to sound like. She actually kind of reminds me, her voice sort of reminds me of an older Lin Loud voice from the Loud House, actually. But yes, I like the voice. I like Elizabeth Maxwell's performance as Caulifla, and I do look forward to hearing more of it in the anime. And yes, I did comment how one of the members of Caulifla's gang is a female Saiyan who bears a strong resemblance to Broly. And yes, without giving too much away for the sake of the dub-only viewers, let's just say that the similarity to Broly is not an accident. It wasn't intentional. Yes, her resemblance to Broly was intentional, and we'll go into greater detail about that in a later recap and thoughts video. And yes, Caulifla and Kale have definitely proven to be very popular with some fans. It definitely helps that they're female Saiyans that actually have names to them, pure-blooded female Saiyans, because yes, Pan and Bola also have Saiyan blood, although they are hybrids, they're not pure-blooded Saiyans. And yes, Caulifla and Kale are pure-blooded female Saiyans with name, For the longest time in the franchise, the only other pure-blooded female Saiyan with a name was one of Bardock's teammates from the TV special Bardock, the Father of Goku. In the Funimation dub, her name is Fasha, and if I'm not mistaken, her name in the sub version is Celipa, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, for the longest time, Fasha was the only known pure-blooded female Saiyan with a name. And then in the 2010s, the 2010s decade, that was when Goku and Raditz's mom, Bardock's wife, was introduced to us, or when we, the viewers, or readers, or fans, we, the fans, got to meet Goku and Raditz's mom, Bardock's wife, in the 2010s decade. And then, yes, Caulifla and the female Saiyan that resembles Broly will be joining that, will be more female Saiyans, pure-blooded female Saiyans with names. So, yes, many fans were definitely excited. And Cabba's comments about being willing to teach Caulifla the Super Saiyan form, Cabba offering to teach Caulifla the Super Saiyan form, or how to unlock the Super Saiyan form, does indicate that female Super Saiyans will be coming up very soon. So we'll talk about that once we reach that recap and thoughts video for that particular moment. But yes, female Super Saiyans are on the way. That's been made clear with Cabba and Caulifla's interactions here. So otherwise, I suppose another detail to bring up is the detail about Tien running his own dojo. That actually came from Dragon Ball Online, or yes, I believe that first happened in Dragon Ball Online. So Dragon Ball Super adapted that idea into Dragon Ball Super. So yeah, that was another detail. That kind of does help to show Tien's great dedication to training and his great passion for martial arts. So I did think that at least I did like that they referenced Tien running his own dojo. Now, I guess I should bring this up. I do remember, I think this was back around the time when the sub version for this episode aired. I remember some fans were hoping that Launch would appear in this episode, but sadly, no, Launch did not appear. Launch did not appear in this episode, and I know some fans were disappointed about that because Launch hasn't really had an appearance for some time. If I'm not mistaken, Launch's most recent appearance, yes, I believe Launch's most recent appearance was the Tarble special. Maybe there was a more recent one, but from what I can recall, the Tarble special was Launch's most recent appearance, and I would like to see Launch return too. I'm hoping that Launch will eventually return in the franchise's future one day, or that would be nice if Launch could return. But otherwise, yes, I guess the other main detail is the Universe 7 team is finished. All 10 members for the 7th Universe team have been recruited, and they still have time to spare. So I think they said they had about 8 hours before the Tournament of Power starts. In the show, yes. I think they said there's about 8 hours left before the Tournament of Power starts. So yes, Universe 7 has completed its roster for its team for the tournament, and they have time to spare. So that probably does give them some time to do some last-minute training before they actually participate in the tournament. And maybe we'll get to see more of the other universes' recruitments. We will get to see more scenes of Universe 6's team, to put it vaguely, for the sake of the dub-only viewers. So otherwise, yes, I would definitely agree that this is a weak episode. Probably, yes, I can agree. I can understand the sentiments about this being the worst episode of Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, it was definitely a low point, especially compared to the previous episode. I really enjoyed Gohan and Piccolo's training episode. Yeah, this was definitely a low episode, but yeah, like I said, there were still some good parts about it, but I do feel the low points won out over the high points for this episode. But there we go. We've now discussed the recap and thoughts video for this episode, so that's it now. So we'll be sure to talk about more how the rest of the saga will unfold in the future recap and thoughts videos. And there we go. As of this video, we've now discussed the Funimation dub for episode 89 of Dragon Ball Super on this channel. Take care, and until next time.